What's going on, guys? And No Man's Sky has a story, but it will not be handed to you. Someone isn't going to tell you where to go. But of course you already know this. I'm here to explain a story route that you could take if you really want to and if it really applies to you in your playstyle. It's been said before by Sean Murray, so if you're a die-hard No Man's Sky fan and you've looked around every single bit of information and you already know this, that's cool. And for those of you that just bought your hype train ticket or are just on the fence of buying it, hear me out. Today we're talking about the factions of No Man's Sky. They're a little bit fuzzy, but as I've said countless times before and will say countless more times in the future, No Man's Sky is a mystery as Hello Games has intended it to be. So there's information that I will be explaining now that will probably not be accurate when the game comes out. But let's get on with it. Factions are unique to No Man's Sky. The reason being is that you can come across a space turf war as you fly into a system and say nope and fly away. But for those of you that want to experience that non-linear story, pick a side, help a faction. Sean Murray says that the galactic map is somewhat split into regions with certain factions controlling areas. And this raises a question that I haven't really found the answer to anywhere, so maybe you can help me out. When you pick a side and you fight, and you win, does that system become absorbed into that faction's turf? Does this galactic map now recognize a winner and adjust its borders? If so, that can set up for something big. Stories of fighters winning the wars and possibly having other players take back turf for their faction. A constant adjustment of borders between everyone in the same universe. But now that you're getting more and more hyped, let me clear some things up with the factions in a little bit more detail. This idea or possible game mechanic does not spread across the entire universe. What do I mean? Well, I mean that you may be hostile to certain factions for fighting against them, and they recognize that. They say, hey, you're that person from the other star system, and you shot at us, destroying most of our ships, kill on sight instantly. But not really. It's if you were to go 1,000 systems away from that place that you started the entire war or whatever, but you're still in the territory of that faction you are up against, they aren't going to be hostile. Why? It's the same faction, yes, but Sean Murray explained that these factions are further split up into different squadrons per system. This may turn some of you off and be a relief to others. It may not bode well for role players, but I guess you can continue staying in character. But I guess for those of you that are going to roleplay, you could continue staying in character and kill on sight. You see this faction, you just immediately start raining down lasers onto their ships, if you so desire. But for those of you that it turns off, hear me out as to why this squadron thing is actually a good thing. Although you want continuity within your universe, it may be an annoyance. One day you may be bloodthirsty, itching for a fight, and this would be nice. You're going around the galaxy looking for someone to fight, and next thing you know you see the faction you're at war with. What a better time to go to war and fight in a battle, right there. That's perfect. But sometimes in No Man's Sky, you may not want to fight. You may have just died and you're looking for materials. Maybe that faction you come across light years away is now in that system you are now in, and they are stationed there and you are now trespassing. So they ambush you and you die. It'd be like having GTA cops in No Man's Sky, just a constant kill on sight type deal. It's better to be able to go back and be incognito and then make them aggro if you want that continuity. Always got to be choices in No Man's Sky. This also leads to another question to think about. Does this squadron work in friendly factions? I am talking about how you destroy a faction in one system and they remember it in another, which they can't. But does that work with friendlies? Say you were to go to a star system, help out that faction, they give you support, you need backup anytime, any place, they're right there. They warp in and help you take whatever it is out. Can you go thousands, millions of light years away and have the same help? I don't know. But now that that's covered, as in the combat, factions also benefit you with parts, materials, and as I said before, reinforcements. You can gain reputation with certain factions. This will grant you cheaper prices at their trading posts and possibly better ships and upgrades that are only available through that faction. Maybe there's a certain design of ship that you love, that you just wish to have, even though the ships are procedurally generated. Maybe they have that certain rule that only applies to them. But anyway, guys, this is just a small fraction of the game. You might never fight a battle in your entire No Man's Sky career. As I said before in the way beginning of this video, this is just a way you could play. You do not have to fight. You do not have to get into factions. You may want to get into the races, or you may not want to get into the races. But hopefully I opened your eyes up just a little bit more as to what else you could do in No Man's Sky in more detail. So if you choose to go this direction, and maybe you can tell me stories about how you saved an entire fleet from an ambush out of nowhere. And maybe this might not go well for you. Maybe you might be on the losing side. You may pick a faction that you thought was nice, and next thing you know, you're being destroyed. Everyone's story will be different. Everyone that steps foot into No Man's Sky's universe will have a completely different experience than the next person over. And that's the beauty of No Man's Sky. But anyways, that's been it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you, maybe in the center of the universe. Later, guys.